Yeah, I'm from the Barents Press network. So we are journalists from Sweden, Norway, Finland, and also from Russia.
Right.
So I wonder, what kind of advices will you give to the Russian journalists how to report?
How to report? I think the way to report now, actually, is to pretend it's a normal country. I mean, I think this is what this is what the demand is right now. It's the people came out into the streets because they long to live in a free society in which people respect one another, in which formal procedures work and matter. And I think that if journalists started reporting as though this were the case, it would actually move us some way toward making it the case. I'm not saying, pretend that things are not what they are, but what I'm saying is when you talk to a member of parliament, ask him whether he's going to vote for a bill. Because that hadn't mattered for a long time. But I was just part of a radio program with a parliamentary deputy from Just Russia, and we were talking about the new anti-gay law that's pending in Parliament. And he said, well, I don't support it. I said, so? I voted for Just Russia. Are you going to vote against it? And he was taken aback because nobody has asked him this on the air to promise that he would vote against a bill. But that's what we need to start doing. We need to start treating things as though they mattered again.
But what do you think will happen in Russia in the next 1 or 2 years?
I think there will be regime change. I think this regime is not going to survive.
How is it going to happen, do you think?
There are a couple of possible ways. One is that, eventually Putin is going to have to understand that the system has collapsed. How is he going to understand it? There could be mass protests again. He orders the interior troops to break them up, and they refuse. That's one way. Another way, the elites feel the rot, and they give him up before he gives them up. That's another way. So.
But you have been organizing some protests now. How have they been?
They've been exciting. I mean, it's scary right now. We're organizing a protest for Inauguration Day, and it's always really scary when you're organizing a protest because it feels like it's 5 of you, and what if it's just the 5 of you who show up? But then people come, and that's exciting. Or if they don't come, that will be sad. But it's wonderful to be doing activism after all these years.
You describe it as there is no opposition right now.
There's no political opposition. There's a protest movement. The protest movement is the opposition, right? Political parties that claim to be the opposition don't matter through no fault of their own. It's just because the system isn't there for them to matter. But it does matter that people come out into the streets.
And do you think your book will ever be published in Russia?
Well, I'm afraid it's a catch-22. When it's published, it's not going to be as important as it is now.